This is the Scorecard, where you score the latest sports news and in-depth views. I'm Anton Roxas. On the Scorecard tonight, PLDT stays unstoppable. Sweeps Capital One for 14th straight win in the PVL. Chot Reyes makes history as he records his 7th Coach of the Year award. Chezka Centeno tops Amit, reclaims World 10-ball throne. In Major League Baseball, the Mariners defeat the Blue Jays 3-1, take Game 1 of ALCS behind Bryce Miller's gem. And get to know what lies ahead for Olympic gymnast Aleah Finnegan after concluding a successful collegiate career. All the headlines and more on the Scorecard tonight, the 13th of October. Now, here's our roundup. The high-speed hitters just keep on winning as PLDT takes down Capital One in straight sets, 25-22, 25-20, 25-23, to stretch their incredible winning streak to 14 games in the 2025 PVL Reinforced Conference at the Araneta Coliseum. Phil Canadian powerhouse Savvy Davison was unstoppable, firing 22 points and racking up 7 kill blocks, leading PLDT's dominant net defense that produced a total of 16 blocks against the Solar Spikers. Anastasia Bavikina stepped up with 15 points and 10 excellent receptions, while Kiana D delivered 10 markers and 4 blocks, proving once again why PLDT's balance and depth are second to none. Capital One struggled to find rhythm and also lost team captain Romame Doromal in the third set due to stomach cramps. She was stretchered off and did not return. Alexandra Bitsenko led the Solar Spikers with 20 points and 12 excellent receptions, while Bella Belen contributed with 13 points and 9 digs. Down 2 sets to none, Capital One showed fight, taking a 21-20 lead in the third behind Belen's back row attack. But Davison and D responded in championship fashion, coming up with clutch plays to turn the game around. An Iris Tolenada service error brought PLDT to match point, and Davison sealed the deal with a blistering spike, her 22nd point of the match, as the high-speed hitters closed out their 14th straight win. PLDT remains unbeaten and looks every bit ready to chase a historic 3rd straight PVL title. Chot Reyes, the master tactician of TNT Tropang 5G, has done it again. The legendary mentor was honored with his record-breaking 7th Coach of the Year award at the 31st PBA Press Corps Awards Night. Reyes, 62 years old, was the unanimous choice for the Virgilio Baby Dalupan Trophy after leading Tropang 5G to 3 straight finals in Season 49, winning both the Governor's Cup and Commissioner's Cup. His 48-27 win-loss card was the best in the league, tying the most games coached in a season since Tim Cohn's 1996 Grand Slam with Alaska. Reyes won the award in 1993, followed by triumphs in 2002, 2003, 2009, 2011, and 2021. Now, he's set to raise the trophy once more, handed by the family of the late Maestro, Baby Dalupan himself. Also sharing the spotlight, TNT team owner Manny V. Pangilinan named Danny Floro Executive of the Year and serving as the night's special guest of honor and speaker. Other big winners include Javi Lucero as Defensive Player of the Year, Brandon Ganuelas Rosser as Comeback Player of the Year, Don Trollano as Mr. Quality Minutes, and Arvin Tolentino as Scoring Champion. Calvin Oftana leads the Order of Merit, while all-rookie team features RJ Abrientos, Cedric Bearfield, Kailan Tiongson, Jordan Heading, Justin Baltazar, and Kai Balungay. And capping it off, the epic Game 7 between TNT and Ginebra in the Commissioner's Cup Finals was named Game of the Season. Chot Reyes, forever the maestro of modern Philippine basketball. Moving on to motorsports, talk about big bucks. In Formula 1, Red Bull is holding firm. No sale to their sister team, Racing Bulls. The familiar feeder team, home to stars like Sebastian Vettel, Daniel Ricciardo, and Max Verstappen, has been in the spotlight this year after driver swaps and mixed results. Liam Lawson was sent down to Racing Bulls. Yuki Tsunoda promoted up, while Red Bull struggled to third in the constructors' standings. An F1 insider, Joe Saward, claimed that an investor offer to buy Racing Bulls was turned away. With Formula One's revenue skyrocketing from $1.7 billion in 2017 to $3.9 billion in 2024. And new teams like Cadillac joining in 2026, the sport is booming. And Racing Bulls remains a prized asset. Red Bull has had its share of turmoil recently after winning their third straight Constructors' title in 2023 and Max Verstappen's third driver's crown. 2024 brought allegations against team boss Christian Horner, leading to his departure. Chief mechanic Adrian Newey also left for Aston Martin. Despite the chaos and the staggering bucks, the Italian feeder team stays under Red Bull's control, staying in command, keeping their sister team close. Red Bull is not looking to cash out. Chezka Centeno is back on the world stage. The 26-year-old Zamboanga star reclaimed her World 10-ball title after outshining teammate and close friend Rubilen Amit 4-1, 2-4, 4-2, 3-4, 4-2 in a heart-pounding final at the 2025 WPA Women's 10-ball World Championship in Bali, Indonesia. In a showdown between two of the Philippines' best few artists, Centeno showed ice in her veins and with absolute precision became only the second player in history to win two World 10-ball titles, denying Amit a historic third crown. After falling short last year in the semifinals, Centeno's comeback was nothing short of legendary. She opened with a win over Canada's Brittany Bryant but suffered a narrow loss to Chinese Taipei's Chen Chiahua, sending her to the loser's bracket. Unfazed, she stormed back, sweeping the U.S.'s Savannah Easton. Then edged Taiwanese star Wei Tzu Chien before dominating Vietnam's Vang Bui Xuan to crash into the knockout stage. From there, Centeno was unstoppable. She then eliminated defending champ Christina Kak, then took down Chinese Taipei's Wang Wanling to reach the semifinals against China's Liu Shasha. In a nail-biting semifinals, the 2025 Chengdu World Games silver medalist held her nerve, taking it 4-3, 4-3, 4-3 to set up an all-Filipino final against Amit. Now in the final, Centeno's focus and fierce determination dominated, reclaiming her World 10-ball title and writing another iconic chapter in Philippine billiards history. Now moving on to Major League Baseball, Bryce Miller and three Seattle relievers shut down Toronto, holding the Blue Jays to just 2 hits all night as the Mariners won 3-1 to open the American League Championship Series. Cal Raleigh homered, Jorge Polanco drove in 2 runs, and Miller, pitching on short rest, bounced back after allowing a leadoff homer to George Springer on his first pitch, retiring 16 of the next 17 batters. Miller's outing, the longest short rest start in 6 years, set the tone, as relievers Gabe Spire, Matt Brash, and Andres Munoz retired 23 of the final 24 Toronto batters. Polanco's 2 RBI and Raleigh's solo blast gave Seattle the edge, while Randy Arozarena's late run sealed it. The Mariners, still seeking their first World Series appearance, now lead the series 1-0. And now, here's your daily dose of sports lingo. What do the numbers in a 5-1 or 6-2 formation in volleyball mean? And why does it matter? In volleyball, teams use formations like 5-1 or 6-2 to organize attacks and sets. A 5-1 formation means there is one setter handling all sets, while 5 other players focus on attacking. This system provides consistency and allows the team to have a strong offensive strategy from any position. Now, on the other hand, a 6-2 formation uses 2 setters, but each setter only sets when in the back row, allowing the front row to always have 3 attackers ready to spike. This formation can maximize attack options and keep the opponent guessing. Understanding formations like 5-1 and 6-2 is crucial for team strategy, offensive flow, and executing high-level plays. Now it's time for our off-court buzzer. After calling it quits with boyfriend she met at Wimbledon, Danielle Collins says it'll take big bucks to get her on the reality show The Bachelorette. The U.S. tennis star is single again, and now she's not shy about setting her price tag for the reality TV. The 2022 Australian Open finalist revealed that her relationship with Brian Kipp, a biotech executive she met at a Wimbledon coffee shop, has come to an end. Collins opened up during the Gay Tennis podcast when she was asked if she'd join The Bachelorette to find love. Her answer, well, pure Danielle.
I would consider maybe going on reality TV, but it depends. Like, I don't know if they can afford me.
Collins previously shared that Kipp didn't even know she was a tennis player when they first met, something she described as really nice. But now the 31-year-old powerhouse seems ready for a new match, one that just might come with a camera crew and a rose ceremony, if the price is right. And that's our roundup for tonight, the 13th of October. Up next, get to know what lies ahead for Olympic gymnast Aleah Finnegan after concluding a successful collegiate career. When we return right here on The Scorecard. Welcome back to The Scorecard. She is one of only 3 gymnasts to represent the Philippines in the Olympics after 6 decades, making the Paris 2024 Games more memorable. Now, after concluding a stellar collegiate career competing for the Louisiana State University Tigers, get to know what lies ahead for Aleah Finnegan as she gets ready to tumble and represent the country once again in the upcoming Southeast Asian Games. Hello everybody, we are here at the Sky Range at Soler Resort Entertainment City in Parañaque for another episode on The Scorecard. And I am sitting alongside 2024 Paris Olympian and a 2-time NCAA national champion from LSU, proudly Filipina, we have Aleah Finnegan.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Now you're back here in the Philippines, so what have you been up to lately?
I am back here in the Philippines for 4 short months. The longest time I've spent here, but also, still relatively short time to be here. So I've been doing some exploring. Of course, I've been training very hard for upcoming competitions. And overall, I've just been really enjoying my time here.
Yeah, recently I was looking at your Instagram. You were exploring the islands. You went to El Nido with your mom.
Yes, I finally went to El Nido with my mom. As soon as I finished my SEA Games back in 2022, it was the first thing that I wanted to do. So now, a few years later, we finally got to take our trip there. It was so relaxing, so beautiful. And to share it with my mom was just the cherry on top.
I want to ask a little bit about your career at LSU. Very accomplished student athlete. Winning an NCAA championship as a Filipino-American in the States, how does that feel to you? What does that achievement mean to Aleah Finnegan?
Being a Filipino student athlete, I carry it so near and dear to my heart because I'm representing so many people across, the States and also representing the Philippines as a whole. Though it may not be in the Philippines itself, I'm still representing, athletes, students, and people who work hard and they want to accomplish so much. And so to finally have the first national championship in school history, I'm representing so much more than just the school, and that's something that I don't take lightly.
So being from LSU, I do have to ask this because you're very good friends with one of the most popular sports personalities in the whole world, Livy Dunn. What's she like behind the camera and when nobody's watching and you guys are just putting in the work?
I spent 4 amazing years with Livy Dunn, and it's so funny because I actually get this question quite often, and I tell everyone she is the most, humble, very down-to-earth person. I think that you just saw her walking by, you would have never known kind of the background that she carries with her, but she comes into the gym every single day. She works so hard.
You yourself have your own fans, your own following. How do you deal with, criticism online? Because obviously it's not all sunshine and rainbows. There are some things that people will say that might not come off the right way.
Absolutely. And to that, you know, you're not going to be able to please anyone, no matter what you do. And especially, you know, having the platform, you're not necessarily going to always be on somebody's good side. And for that, I think for me, I just try to stay as authentic as I can to myself and really just, you know, being who I am as a person. And the people that are closest to me, they know my heart, they know who I am, and I surround myself with those people. And so, you know, of course, you're gonna make some people upset sometimes, but as long as you're being authentic and the people who love you and care about you, that's the only opinion that matters.
You graduated from LSU. What course did you finish?
I finished in business marketing.
So that's one of your interests, getting into business.
Absolutely. I think that, you know, I always wanted to do something a bit outside of sports, but of course business marketing is something, it's very broad, and so maybe I could pull sports into it, maybe I could go corporate route. There's so many opportunities, it's endless. I think if I didn't do gymnastics, I would probably be doing another sport of some kind. I did dance when I was really young. I did soccer for about a day. It didn't last long. So I've always wanted to try volleyball, however. I don't think I have the height for it, but, you know, maybe someday. And then if I didn't do gymnastics in general, probably just a student, you know, working, but there's so many what ifs that happen. It's hard to think about that kind of stuff.
Still into sports though?
Absolutely. I don't think that I would probably go outside of the sport realm.
So recently you also had a chance to watch the FIVB Men's World Championship. How was it?
I did. It was amazing. It was my first time kind of seeing a men's volleyball game here in the Philippines, and I watched the PBA opening, and the men's team, they put up an amazing fight. It was so fun to watch. The crowd and just the energy in the arena was unmatched. Like everyone says when they come to the Philippines, like Filipinos are very, you know, adamant about their sports and about the people that they cheer for, and it's just an amazing environment to be in.
Speaking of, you were the muse of the Meralco Bolts during last year's PBA opening, the 49th season. How was that experience?
That was also amazing because it was also kind of my first, you know, appearance or like gig, I guess you could say, that wasn't necessarily gymnastics related. And so it was a completely different ball game from what I'm used to, I suppose. But meeting all the different, you know, muses and their backgrounds and meeting all the different people, and then of course watching the game at the end. The Meralco Bolts that were playing in the game and they won, it was a top tier experience, definitely.
You've done a lot of amazing things in your life, a lot of bucket list experiences, and one of the things I saw recently was you throwing the ceremonial first pitch for the Kansas City Royals. And that was impressive, the cartwheel and the throw to the mascot slugger. Did you think about that in your head before going out there?
So, you know, I've seen a lot of athletes kind of do a first ceremony, first pitch, and most gymnasts, they typically do a flip. So I knew for a fact that I wanted to do a flip before, but I'm also like nervous for some reason. I hope I don't trip. I've done this skill a million times and I'm like, man, I hope it goes well. But I was more nervous for the pitches.
Going back to when we had our first interview in Intramuros, you had this wonderful project for the kids, Yes Girl with Emma Malabuyo. So, do you have something in the works in the future for the kids?
Yes, we're really hoping to make it an annual thing, really trying to push out gymnastics for these Filipino girls that are, you know, maybe they don't want to go gymnastics all the way, but it's just like learning about body awareness, learning about, you know, motor skills. Things like that is just so important in their life, and so if we can inspire maybe one or two girls, then like we'll have done our job. But we're really hoping, because it was such a successful event last year, to really keep it going for this year and the years ahead.
Aaliyah, you're only 22 years old. You have your entire life ahead of you. And I do have this question, and I am asking for a friend, as many people say on social media.
Oh boy.
Are you single? And what do you look for in a partner?
I am single, yes. Rumors are true, yes. I think looking for a partner is just really somebody who is very God-fearing. You know, that's something that's very important to my heart. And just hardworking, good work ethic, loyal, you know, kind and caring, I think is definitely very helpful too, but I think, yeah.
I think this is going to be the most replayed portion of this interview.
As long as they have a good work ethic and they love the Lord and they're caring, it's probably my top three, yes.
All right, there you go. So for my last question, I also had a chance to speak with Ma'am Cynthia Carrion, the president of the GAP, and she was saying that she envisions more Filipinos participating in gymnastics in the next Olympics in LA. Now, I asked you that question before. You said it's $1 million question. I know it's still far from now, but what do you see yourself doing in the next couple of years leading up to the Olympics in terms of your sport?
In terms of my sport, I'm really just trying to take it 1 year at a time, because if you think too far ahead, it's a marathon, not a sprint, of course, and we are still quite a few years away from the LA Games. So for my career, at this point, I'm really just focusing on 2025 this year, and then we'll take the next year how it is, and maybe we'll see, of course, subject to change, but I'm really just taking it 1 year at a time.
What about the SEA Games? We have the SEA Games this year, 2025. Will we see you there?
Absolutely. I am so excited for this year's SEA Games. SEA Games 2022 was actually my first competition. I competed for the Philippines.
Yep.
And it was a very successful event, so I'm very excited to be back here again this year.
Well, Aaliyah, it was great catching up with you. Thank you so much for the time, and all the best here in your return to the Philippines.
Thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Aleah Finnegan right here on the Scorecard. And that's a wrap. And that's a wrap.
Yay!
Yeah, that is a wrap. Up next, the Blue Jays fight to even the series while the Seattle Mariners smell blood in the water. Logan Gilbert takes the mound. Trey Yesavage answers the call. Two young arms, one huge stage. Who strikes first under the lights? We're about to find out. So you can keep your eyes on the prize. Welcome back to the Scorecard. It's time to keep your eyes on the prize. So here we go again. Let's go. Seattle surging, Toronto sweating, and the American League Championship Series just got personal. Game 2 at Rogers Center. The Mariners lead 1-0, and suddenly, 24 years of waiting feels like destiny brewing in the Pacific Northwest. This one's got that October edge. Seattle up 1-0 after a near-perfect Game 1 where Cal Raleigh turned Rogers Center into his own personal launchpad. Raleigh blasted his 9th homer in 14 games here. That's ownership, not confidence. And Jorge Polanco, the veteran everyone forgot about, delivered again with 2 clutch RBIs that quieted nearly 50,000 fans. Now, tomorrow, it's a duel between Logan Gilbert and the Mariners workhorse that effortlessly rhythm and 173 strikeouts this season. And rookie Trey Yesavage, who's got the kind of raw stuff Toronto fans dream about. Fastball heavy, high spin, no fear, but this is October. This isn't AA Greensboro anymore. Woo! Great matchup. Toronto's been rolling 7 wins in their last 10, hitting .275 as a team, outscoring opponents by 27 runs. But Seattle's been battle-tested. They've survived on pitching, on defense, and that quiet swagger of a team that believes every out counts double in October. So let's talk Cal Raleigh. 60 home runs this year. 60! He's not just hot, he is volcanic. When you hit like that in October, it's not about stats anymore. It's about relief. But Toronto's got issues, major issues. Bo Bichette's knee, Jose Barrios' elbow, bullpen depth collapsing. They're asking a rookie and a prayer to stop Seattle's momentum. And that's dangerous because if the Mariners steal this one too, the series swings hard back to Seattle with the home crowd ready to explode. So here's the setup. The Blue Jays lead the season series 4-3, but Seattle owns the momentum that matters most. The Mariners have waited decades for this kind of October energy. And right now, you can feel it building like pressure in the sound. Gilbert versus Yesavage. The Jays trying to protect home turf. The Mariners looking to bury them early. Everything's louder, tighter, sharper now. Because Game 2 always tells you who's really built for October. So stay out of the game as the ALCS heats up in Toronto. Seattle's riding the wave after a huge Game 1 win, but the Blue Jays aren't backing down on their home turf. Game 2 is here, and the pressure is clanked to 11. And that's a wrap on our ALCS preview. Seattle's pushing for history. Toronto's fighting to prove that they belong. One team's chasing momentum. The other is chasing redemption. The stage is set. The lights are bright. So tune in, lock in, and as always, keep your eyes on the prize. Before we go, think on this. From a 7-time Grand Slam champion and Olympic gold medalist who redefined the sport with her power, athleticism, and elegance, Venus Williams once said, "You have to believe in yourself when no one else does. That makes you a winner right there." And with that, thank you for joining us tonight. We'll see you again tomorrow on the Scorecard, where sports is our business and business is our sport on the Bilyonaryo News Channel. This is Anton Roxas. Have a blessed evening, everybody. Good night.